We come here tonight to celebrate my main man, my brother from another mother. First of the hood, breaker of slabs, the authority in the comic code. Against the odds, he persevered. When there was hopelessness, he was hope. And the darkness, he was a light. He is the epitome of the American dream, the one who constantly and continually reminds us to keep our priorities straight of faith, family, comic books. My main man, J. Hood.
Creative?
On J. Hood Creative. Is that your last name? We're going. I'm sorry, Mr. Creative.
Mr. Creative. I'll take
Mr.
that.
Creative.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the J Hood Creative Channel. Thanks, Vic, for that excellent intro. The hype man, you know, who else in the community can say they have a hype man? Just me.
Yeah.
If you got a hype man, I want to see you bring him
And I'm available.
for parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, you name it.
Yes. I'm available for everything except marriage.
Good to know. All right, we've got some people already tailgating with us. We've got Magic Lasso. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Good to see you. Unruly Simeon, thanks for coming out and sharing in the fun. We got Rob Boswell. Rob, good to see you, man. Saw Rob at Wonderfest a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
I wish we'd have been able to spend more time. It just didn't work out. Gore Vidal. I'll wager the Grail isn't a Captain America variant with Chris Evans on it. Good bet, good bet. Hialeah, Comic Bro, thanks for coming out, man.
Ooh.
I am excited. Can you see? I almost did the line. What's his name? Bob Costas line from basketball.
I'll see. You know I love Bob Costas because he's from St. Louis, but I've never seen basketball.
Oh. Look at these nipples. That's the line.
Of course, I've heard that line. Now that you say it.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. We're gonna, like the advertisement says, I've got a big book to show you. So that's gonna be the capper. I've got a stack of books I'm gonna give away. We're just gonna do, I'll write down the number. You guys tell me the number, and we'll get it handled that way. We've got a stack of books that I've just picked up over the last few weeks, actually since Wonderfest.
Really?
Yeah. So Wonderfest, if you don't know, is a show I go to every year for work, and it's a modeling show. But they've got a full range of superhero, horror, any kind of genre collectible you're into. They've got it there, and they've got a couple good comic book dealers. Well, I say good. They've got a couple of comic book dealers. They usually have decent books, slightly overpriced, and I walked away with a few that I thought were a good value.
Nice. Did you see Heidi Klum or Chrissy Teigen or Tyra Banks there?
No, this is a scale model show. I should say that. So we'd have to see like 6-inch versions of Heidi Klum, which they're okay. So
she ages very well. I'll just say that.
Little known fact at Wonderfest, on Saturday night they have like the nudie room. Where guys that are into building models of nudie girls
really
can show their year's worth of work.
You ain't seeing pictures from that.
I stay away. I go and hobnob.
I mean, how do you know? Yeah, okay, never mind.
So let's get these festivities started. I'll give a sneak preview of what the giveaway is going to be, so you guys know what you're sticking around for. Hey, John's Comics with Kids, thanks for joining us this evening. So
here we get it.
I got it. So this starts out as a stack of books that I bought recently at a show, got them home, and found out that I already had them. So they're books worth owning, just not worth owning twice.
And just so you know that they're really good, he didn't just give them to me, which is what he normally does.
Yeah, I was saving them for a rainy giveaway day. It was kind of nice out today, but
yeah, it was.
So start out with a Thor issue, double size, Thor versus the Juggernaut, with John Romita Jr. art in that. We're giving away a reader copy of Darwin Cook Solo. If you're a fan of Darwin Cook, it's a great book to have. It's got a little bit of, it's a wibbly wobbly kind of cover, so it needs a press. If you're into that kind of thing, just read it. You're getting a Alpha Flight number 12.
Good pink cover. Monday's Comic Gories.
Mm-hmm. You're getting 4 issues of John Byrne Fantastic Four work, including 235, 241. This one I think had made some lists and stuff. I think this is like a key because Franklin Richards becomes adult for a day or something like that. Getting that one, getting this one. And for your real old schoolers, a couple reader copies of some borderline silver bronze books. Got a reader copy of Teen Titans number 20, which has got Neil Adams and Nick Cardy teaming up on the art in that. And then a reader copy of New Gods. I believe it's number 3. Yep. New Gods number 3, the first appearance of the Black Racer. All these prizes are waiting.
You're giving away the Black Racer?
They're waiting to be won. Need to show you. Oh, you got some books. Cool. Yeah, I'd like to see them. Oh, that Teen Titans. Yeah, I know Lasso's a fan of the Teen Titans. JP's Budget Collecting. The pull a T-Rock. Okay, well, you'll get the recap later.
MIZ.
So, all right. So let's start with some of the books I picked up at Wonderfest. This first dealer that I dealt with had some books I liked. Obviously, they were in rougher shape in some cases, but one of them I picked up is this issue of Thor. This is issue 136. It's a Jack Kirby Stan Lee issue. The significance of this, Jane Foster becomes an immortal for a day, like way ahead of becoming Thor. The interesting thing about this is you'll see that this is kind of messy. And upon very close inspection, you'll find that somebody has scribbled a 12-cent price tag over, is it a 1 pence? I don't know how many pence. It's a pence copy. So it's a British copy of Thor 136. I've never owned a pence book before. I'd rather own the real 12-cent copy, but these are the kinds of things that you're like, I can live with that, whatever that mess is, in the moment. And the rest of the book's in pretty good shape, so I'm not terribly disappointed. It's got a bit of a, it's not quite a, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, not quite a subscription crease, but it's got a crease down the center that doesn't break color. Jeff Schultz, thanks for joining us, man. So this is a character I've been interested in for a long time. This is the first appearance of the Psycho Pirate in the Silver Age. I believe there was a Golden Age version of him. So the price tag on this, $20.
Nice.
I'm like, this book in this condition, $20, I'll take it all day. And got it home, and the centerfold's detached, which again, I wish it wouldn't have been. But for $20, I'll take it. It's not an important book. I mean, it's a key. It's a first appearance, but I thought it's just a cool character to have his first appearance. And then here's another reader copy of a Silver Age key. Tales of Suspense number 63. Obviously, it's got a bit of a spine roll, a lot of color breaks, and then unfortunately somebody's colored in the A on his hat or on his mask. But again, for the price I got this for, less than $50. So it's a book I wanted. Again, not something I had to have in super high grade, so pick that one up.
Nice.
Tales of Suspense is dope. Yeah, man. It's got the origin of Captain America in that issue. So, quick drink of water.
Just to open. I really expected it to come down with a sippy cup of water, but it's open glass.
So this next dealer just had a ton of nice books. I've always been like a closet fan of the Doom Patrol.
Really?
hmm So this is issue, is it 108 of the Doom Patrol? A portent of things to come with the death of the Doom Patrol in issue 121. So it's in pretty nice shape. Got a pretty sweet deal on it.
My sister loves the show.
Yeah, I've not watched it. I watched the episode of Titans that had him in it. And then he had a ton of these John Buscema Avengers books, and I don't have my. Let's just say John Buscema is or Buscema, however you want to pronounce it, is under
Appreciated?
not underappreciated, underrepresented in my collection. I need to have more of this work, so I picked up this issue. So this has got the wedding of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp. I think this is also the first appearance of the Yellow Jacket costume that Hank Pym wears. Yeah, after I get over the whole buy all the John Byrne and George Perez Avengers books, I think I'm gonna be moving on to some John Buscema love. Doom Patrol hits, yeah, man. Doom Patrol is excellent, sad, pathetic, and tragic characters. Absolutely the best. Can't disagree with that sentiment. So this deal, these two books I got in a trade deal where I'm trading this guy some product that he gives away at a show he puts on down there at another time of the year. And he didn't, for what I sent him as far as like last year and this year I'm going to send him some stuff. He's getting the sweet end of the deal, but he just didn't have a lot of the stuff I wanted. So I kind of just took the two books that I wanted the most and kind of settled for that. And I wish I'd almost like said, oh, let's not do this year, but we did. But so I'm a fan of the Mimic in the X-Men. So this is X-Men number 29 from the Silver Age. So this was the fourth appearance of the Mimic. This was the one book that I had years ago. I sold it in an auction or something like that because I wanted to upgrade the copy. The old copy had rips in it. I thought this looked really great, and then got it home, and then under scrutiny I found that it's got 3 sets of extra staple holes in it. The staples that are in it are really shiny, so I don't know if they're the original ones, but there's nothing detached. It all holds up fine, but for some reason somebody back in the day just decided to put extra staples in there to hold their book together. Biggie Shack, thanks for joining us, man. Just running through the books I picked up in the last couple weeks. So Biggie will like this one. This is another Silver Age key. Here's what happens. I'll buy these Silver Age keys and settle for less than ideal condition, and then I'll have buyer's remorse in which I would have just spent a little bit more and got a better copy. But this book isn't one that comes along every day. So this is Fantastic Four number 28, the first meeting of the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Of course, you can see some nasty rusted out staples there on the cover, and as it turns out, that cover is totally detached. So this is a book that I will probably eventually give away once I get an upgrade, and just pass along to somebody that will enjoy having it. I really like the art in it. This is one of the issues that was inked by Chick Stone, who I like. His unique approach to Kirby's art.
There's no way that's his real name, right?
I don't know. CHIC Stone, I believe. No one really is a fan of that Fantastic Four. And, you know, the patina on it is really pretty nice. And if it didn't have those rusty staples and it wasn't detached, I'd be fine with it. This is a book that it wouldn't necessarily have to have, any higher than a 4.0 or something like that, a solid mid-grade. But yeah, I'll keep this one until I upgrade it. Tricky Trapster, thanks for joining us, man.
I have a question. Do you in your list? Do you like make a mark next to a certain book that you want to upgrade or?
Yes, I do. I just put UG for upgrade.
Oh, okay. I saw that on your other thing. Okay. I was going to ask you what that was for. Never mind now.
There you go. Yeah, I did mean to show that list. Let's show that real quick before we get on to this next stack that I bought locally. So this is a recap of the books I showed that I said I wanted for the year. I think that's showing up pretty well. So I X'd off a couple that I already picked up earlier in the year. So that kind of gives a rundown of where we're at as far as what I'm after. The stuff on the second page, like the lower third, I'm like, I'll take one of those this year and be perfectly happy with it if I can make it. So
yeah.
We shall see. And there we go.
Hey.
Yeah, that Titans is cool, man.
I'm a fan.
Okay, so this next stack I got from a local shop that deals in vintage toys, and he's got vintage comics, no new comics.
So what shop is that?
Tom's Vintage Toys.
Yeah.
Find him on Instagram.
So you said vintage toys. Oh, yes, Tom.
So the last time I went there, here's what I'm guilty of. Tom sees me coming in, and he's like, okay, what's he going to try and trade me this time? Because I'll take stuff in there and try and trade for comics. I took a stack of stuff in there a while back, and there was one book in there that I really wanted, and he was like, I'm kind of not in a trading spot these days. So I went in, I knew kind of the kind of stuff he had in stock, but my point is I've never actually walked in there with like some money to spend.
Like Tom told us one day they had like a basement full of long boxes that he needs to go through. I already offered to pay him $20 so we could go through and pick what we wanted.
Yeah, he wouldn't go into that. He's got a guy that goes through and prices books. I think the guy is a little bit high as far as the price. I don't know anything else, but so I went in there and spent a little money with him. So one of the things that was on my, let's share that real quick again. On my list was on, if you notice on the left side, X-Men number 118 and 124 are and 110 are the 3 John Byrne X-Men issues that I'm missing.
Okay.
So he had a copy of 118, and it's a really nice copy. It's not going to be a 9.8 or anything, but definitely probably 8.5 in the 9s somewhere, low 9s. Not the first appearance of Sunfire. Or is it the first appearance of Sunfire? It might be.
Sunfire?
No, that's not right. Sunfire was in Giant Size X-Men. But, yeah.
I thought everybody was in Giant Size X-Men.
Half the team's in Giant Size X-Men. And then I got number 124. So I picked up 2 of the 3 that I need to finish up rebuying the Byrne issues. About a third of the ones that I had, I sold off and have been buying back. I sold them off because I didn't like the condition. I just need them nice. Matthew Poe, thanks for joining us, man. And then the last book that I got, to be honest, I knew he had that. I had a feeling, let's just say, I had a feeling that he'd still have that X-Men 118. There was a book I saw the last time, like I said, that I was going to try and trade for, and he wasn't going for it. And I was hoping he would have it, and he did. And this is a really nice copy. Still not quite a 9.8. I really kind of scrutinized it. And it's a newsstand, like I like it, because comic books are supposed to have these silly lines on them, not a Spider-Man face, because that's the way I bought them when I was a kid.
Yes.
So a really crispy copy, the first appearance of Elektra. Another book that I've had in my collection in the past and sold it off because I did not like the condition. In that case, it had a pretty nasty rip in the cover. So I was really, really happy that he had that one still waiting for me. And so here's the thing: if you're in our area and you go to Tom's Vintage Toys, before you go through all the boxes and stuff and look at the stuff he's got on the wall, ask him if he's got anything good that he hasn't put out yet, because he's got half a dozen short boxes behind the desk. It's got all the good stuff in it. All right, so
Ooh.
down to two last books, and I have not opened them yet. This one was, I honestly wasn't expecting this one, but it arrived super quick. The guy shipped it, took his time shipping it. And
You said, well, did it arrive quicker or did he take his time shipping it?
he took his time shipping it and it arrived in 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Got a vamp for me while I'm trying to get this tape off. Not an excellent packing job, but
See,
acceptable, I guess.
I've always said that, you should do this stuff in advance. Makes things go smoother. Oh, that's not the type of vamp you want me to do. Yeah. All right. How about this? Happy birthday, Luke Cage. He turns 50 this month.
And how do you know that?
I know that because I turned 50 this month too.
That's a great birthday book, man.
Okay, so I actually turned 50 in 3 days. Hey, this year my birthday is a national holiday. Happy Juneteenth.
So this book even he put in no board.
Oh man.
He had it in this, and then in this, nice stiff mailer.
You want this?
No, there's one under here that I've had prepared just in this event. But here is the book. So on the J Hood scale of grading, this one is acceptable. Put that out there. Thor 168. Acceptable. It looks nicer on screen than it does in my hands. It's a little bit dirty, a little bit brown. Some of the color breaks aren't quite showing up.
Wasn't that on the bottom row?
It was on the bottom row.
Sweet. So you got one of the books on the bottom row.
No, it wasn't. No, this was in the middle row. I take that back. But it was on that left side or the right side of
Nice.
Books that I would like to have this year.
Well, Galactus Lost.
Yep. So this is part of the Galactus origin story. Do not bend. Trying to tell that to Amazon they ship the Star Wars Black Series action figures. There you go. Happy birthday, Coach Vic from JP.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Matt Glasso is in agreement. That's a good book and really loves it. Biggie Shack. Thanks, man. Every Galactus cover is gorgeous. So I'm going to put this in a spiffy new Mylar and full back.
It's home.
There, it looks pretty. Perfect.
Looks like a 9.8 now.
It looks at least it looks like a 6.0. It might be a 5, but you know me and my grading, I don't know nothing. I don't know much. So let's okay, before we get on to the next book, this is the big one, the one that I've been waiting for, and you guys have come to see, I'm sure. Let's do a little history lesson. Not a history lesson. Let's just tell a story, okay?
I thought you were going to start rapping like an Hamilton.
I'll tell two stories. The first story is we were talking about Wonderfest, that I was there a few weeks ago. And going into Wonderfest, my collecting funds were depleted as they've been, like, since I've kept like money in my PayPal account. It's like down to like the last $100. So I had sold a painting to a guy at Wonderfest a few years ago, and I knew that he was more into car illustrations, which I've done a few of, but not many. So I took those on a lark, and then I packed up a bunch of other paintings to take with me. And I saw him. I said, I told him, you remember you saying you're in the car stuff. You want to see the car stuff that I paint? He's like, yeah, sure. So, hey, sleepy reader, thanks for joining us, man. So I've done a rundown of the books I picked up recently, and I'm telling a story about how I got the next one. Okay. So talking to this guy, show him these paintings I brought with me. I had them all. We happened to have an extra table that we didn't pay for that was just there in the corner. So I'm like, I'm sitting all my artwork out on the table.
Had your own free booth.
Indeed, the lighting was terrible though. So the guy said, "Yeah, I'm interested." So we worked out a price, and then there was a guy that was a buddy of his standing next to him, and so when we worked out the price, I was like, "Okay, I'm relieved. I've got money in my cachet. I can start chipping away at some of these books that I like. I can go back to Tom's and see if he's got the Electra and stuff like that." Mm-hmm. And he turns to his buddy and says, "You like that one back there, honey?" And it's the one that was the Godzilla. I should have pulled up a screen grab of it. It's Godzilla, Ghidorah, and Rodan all on one big painting.
Oh, I remember that one.
So he's like, "You like that, don't you?" He's like, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you should pick it up." Some people walk around with thousands of dollars in their pocket, apparently, or in their PayPal account anyway. So he's like, "Yeah, I do like that one." So I worked out a price with that guy, and I'm like, "Holy crap! I've got giant size X-Men money." So I was like, I'm officially back in the market for giant size X-Men 1.
Sweet.
Now let's take this story further back. Let's share a different screen. Okay. Let's go back to Wonderfest 2 years ago. This is 2019 Wonderfest. In 2019 Wonderfest, the one dealer that I bought the Avengers and Doom Patrol issues from, he had a Incredible Hulk 181.
Okay.
Pretty nice copy. It looked like a 7.0. And he's like, "I'll sell this to you for $700." I'm like, "I don't have $700. And plus, that looks amazing. What's wrong with it?"
Right.
It's like the Marvel value stamp's got to be missing. He's like, "No, the value stamp is there. It's missing the centerfold." I'm like, but then all weekend I'm thinking about, okay, so I buy a coverless copy, take the centerfold out of it, marry the centerfold, got a Hulk 181 for $700. But what's the wife going to think if I spend $700 on a Hulk at 181? So I didn't go for that deal, but I came home and talked to the wife, and we worked out this whole deal of, when I do these freelance paintings, the money I make from the company to do the paintings goes into the family fund, goes into the general, we go on vacation and things like that. When I sell originals, that goes in my PayPal account.
Oh, I thought this was something I had worked out like 10 years ago. I know it's a relatively new thing.
No, this past couple of years.
Oh, wow.
So after that, I hope the story has happened. I see your comment there. So I start thinking, okay, what's it going to take to get into a giant size X-Men 1? And this is going to be kind of hard to show, but let's see if I can make it big. I remember the key commands. So if you can see that, I hope you can. If not, what it is it's a screen grab of a text or Instagram chat I had with DS back in 2020. This is February of 2020. And let's get this bigger. And so above that would have been the 7.5s. Down here, these are graded 8.0 prices for giant size X-Men 1 in February of 2020. So I knew I had another painting in the works, and I got the painting done, and the guy that was going to buy it kept putting me off until November of last year. So I was going to buy it, but I had sent DS my Amazing Spider-Man 300 signed by Todd McFarlane, my New Mutants 98, like $2,000 or $3,000 worth of books, raw books, to DS get pressed, and they got lost in the mail because the mail was a mess that year.
Oh yeah.
It's that whole leading up to the
Okay.
the election thing. So, okay, long story short, it was a mess. So I was like, I had cold feet. I didn't want to spend a lot of money knowing I had lost a lot of comics in the mail. And so come around and we'll show the next slide real quick. Get this. No. Sorry, I'm nervous.
It's okay. Take your time.
So then, then I go on JP's show. And this is February of last year. And, I spent an hour with JP and Big Will, and I'm crying on their shoulder because all the money I had from selling that painting can't even buy me a scrap of giant size X-Men. So here we are a year later. The prices were skyrocketing then. I step into some money now, and what's happening? We're in the middle of a huge dip. And I was ready to be patient. I knew the money was there. When I saw the copy, I could get it. And looking around on eBay, there was one copy. And I was like, I'd go for that one if I can get it for the right price. So,
big box for a big book. That's what you call packing, fellas.
For the price I paid. And oddly enough, the price I paid for this, the price I got it at, is right around the price I was looking to spend in winter of 2020.
Hey.
And it's raw. It's packed really well.
It's raw and full of bubble wrap.
He shipped it FedEx and made sure to use a USPS mailer in the process.
That's what I'm talking about.
Got that right.
Government.
I'm going to give this guy an A+ for his packing, that's for sure.
I mean, he's a pull tab sort of a perfect score, though, right?
Yeah. I'm not disappointed, though. Not yet, anyway. Come on.
He dropped it.
There it is, guys. Check that out. Let's get the comment off of there. I'll take it out of the bag and we'll go over what it's got going on.
Yeah, get that thing in your skirt. New outfit.
Thanks, dude. Man, the skipping.
Just tell you, we were out at lunch with our pastor, and he made the pastor pay for it. Okay, not really. Oh,
This right here. Patience.
Patience, yes. I mean, he has me for a friend.
All right, let's
Get
take
rid of that tape.
Yeah, this is a situation where we've got like a 1/4 inch, not even a spine split, just a little tear at the spine. We've got a reader crease along the spine. It's a little bit dirty. The edges are rolled a little bit. A few nicks here and there in the cover. Rounded corners a bit. So front cover is really, really nice and presentable. Could use a press, while I do that. Let's get that coming up there. Will I get it pressed and graded someday? Maybe someday. I'll definitely get it pressed and cleaned. But this is pretty much exactly the kind of copy I wanted. One that wouldn't be so precious that I can't enjoy opening it and reading it. The back has a few more serious defects. It's got writing on there. It's got a couple little tears on the side there. I don't know that this is a
Like a crease.
it's not color breaking. It's got dirt on it. But the most serious thing is it's got actually a little burn down there at the bottom. It's about 1/4 inch. So that's the most serious thing, but it's going to present awesome, and that's what I needed.
Yes.
Look at that, dude.
You need to clear off roll books for that one book now. Nice.
Let's get that in its new home.
See how much of an upgrade we get from the bag.
The Mylar Magic.
9.8.
It is to me, man. It is to me.
Oh yes.
Look at that. It's like sparkly. It's like magic.
Nice. I'm happy for you. I'm very happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Happy when you sent me that you won the auction.
This guy has put up with me just calling, like, whining at him in the middle of the day, like, I can't think of anything else than, I can't concentrate on anything else than trying to figure out some plot to get a hold of a copy of this thing. So hats off to you, man.
Hey.
All right, let's go back. Let's see. I think we had Raging Cajun. Excellent acquisition. Patience paid off. Yeah. So, I mean, just think about that. So what I'm seeing, I guess one of the kind of buying habits I have is that I'm only shopping when I've got money. So I've been kind of away from like this market. Like I've looked maybe every few months, look and see what the values are in the books, and they all seem like they were about where they were, real crazy. But now there's a lot more volume out there, and I don't see like the voracious buying that was out there for sure. That was probably the biggest thing. The price it was at when, like, a couple hours ahead of the end of the auction, that had been at that price like for all day, and I put in substantially higher bid than what I actually want it for.
Right.
So now I've actually got a little bit of cachet, so I'll be doing hopefully some more pressing, get some grading, and do some selling.
I get 5% of what you didn't spend, though, right?
Yeah, sure. How can we order a print of your artwork? I like the K7 space station. The thing is, I can't do prints because the deal I make is I do the work for hire. The company owns the copyright, and I keep the original.
So you own the original, but they own the work,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah, they all own all rights to it. It's a Red Ryder BB gun. There it is. And congrats to Big Shack. He picked up a copy too. He's just waiting for it to come in the mail. Thanks, JP. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh, thank you, Ray John. I think I look good too.
Thanks, John. I you know what? You're a Jeep guy. I've still got the Godzilla with the Jeep, so maybe we can work out a trade or something. It only took gas prices to get to $10 a gallon. Thanks, man. And Jeff Schultz planning on getting a negative art on T-shirts to sell. Thanks, guys. I do have a piece of art handy. I was just going to show to kind of show, like, what are you talking about when you do artwork?
Oops.
Yeah. So this is the last one that I did. No one has actually seen it outside of a couple people in my company and the guy at Disney.
And me.
And you.
You need to scoot back, so.
No, you're good. Get some light on it.
Let me turn the light on.
No, that's good. Yeah, so this illustration board is a 20 by 30 board, so that kind of gives you the scale. So yeah, when I'm listening to Omni X-Men on a Tuesday night, or Comigories on Mondays, or
me pouring my heart out to him.
That's the kind of stuff I'm doing, and it's all going back into my collection. Thanks, man. Thank you. I'm not good at tooting my own horn.
Where's your collection?
My collection of.
Where do you keep your artwork?
In those portfolios over there.
Oh, okay. Did you finish the Ewok one? I mean the AT-AT? No.
I did finish the AT-AT one.
It was the AT-AT. It was the AT-ST, right?
ATST.
ATST.
Bronze Age nerd. Thanks for coming, man. That's the big reveal right there.
The force is strong with him.
Man. Finally got that book.
Nice.
All right, so we'll do a recap here in a minute. But first we got a big crowd. Let's do this little drawing. So I'll do a run through of the books in this little prize pack. Nothing extra special, but a bunch of fun stuff. Thanks, man. Yeah, go back and watch the rerun. I kind of went through a too long and arduous story, but hopefully it fleshed out the backstory behind that one.
A good story.
All right, so this prize pack. These are some books I picked up recently at a con that I thought I needed but didn't, and then a couple extra little goodies thrown in. So you're going to get that issue of Thor 17 with John Romita Jr. art in it. Thor versus the Juggernaut. Cool story. Is it? I think it's thicker than usual. Anyway. Reader copy of Darwin Cook's Solo. If you're into pressing, this would need a press. It's got a bunch of kind of wobbles in the cover there. Everyone should have a copy of Alpha Flight number 12 in their collection. We've got 4 issues of John Byrne's Fantastic Four work. That one. This one that's been kind of a hot minor key lately. The Floating Head of Doom. And then you're going to get Silver Age Teen Titans with artwork by Neil Adams and Nick Hardy in there. And then New Gods number 3 with the first appearance of the Black Racer. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm writing down a number. Victor has seen the number. And I will put a starting line in. And after I put the starting line in, you guys just unload with numbers, and whoever picks this number first will win.
Number between 1 and 5,000.
Between 1 and 100. Ready, set, go.
So while we're waiting for
Pick
this
a
to
number,
happen,
any number between 1 and 100. Of course, nobody wants those books.
one is not a winner, and 2 nobody remembers.
Okay, we got to keep
I
a
mean, he
close
did
eye.
pick an odd number. So,
I did.
so
Odd to you, maybe. And by odd is not, well, all numbers are eligible.
So, what's next?
What's next as far as like, what am I going to go after next? It's a good question. Let's talk about that after this drawing. If somebody uses the number, it should not be used again. It's a good strategy. I still have not seen it. I've seen a few that were close.
As far as ideas.
Ideas.
I don't know. I was just trying to come up with something to talk with. What's my guesses? The number. That is
I must have picked a good one.
Oh, the one I would have picked, nobody picked that one either. So
This not related to comics, but this is kind of a nerdy number. If that helps.
Oh, really?
I think. We've got some people who've been really close. Still not there. Feel free to like start with 1 and go through the whole thing if you want. There it is. Magic Lasso.
I really thought Rob was finally going to get it.
Number 66.
Oh, I thought it was 99. No.
Well, I saw 99.
Yeah, it was 66.
So there you go. Congrats, Magic Lasso.
Woohoo.
Like I think I've got your address. If anybody claims to have written that number in there and I missed it, please speak up. So yeah, what will I do next? Where do I go from here? I mean, a lot of times people do have problems with. Yeah, he stopped at 67. Yeah, I think he did 65 too.
Yeah, 65 and 67.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they get their grail and they're like, they're wanderers in the desert at that point. They don't know where they're going next.
Just want to retire now?
To be honest, I mean, when we talk about grails, there are attainable grails, and then there are realistically probably unattainable grails. Like an X-Men 1, I probably will not get an X-Men 1. There in the past, like 2 years ago, when I was thinking about, could I get into a giant size X-Men 1? I was thinking, could I do the whole let's buy books, upgrade them, grade them, sell them, and flip them, and roll that into a giant size or into an X-Men 1. And at that point, there was like the price on them was like $1,000 a point. So for $4,000, you could get an X-Men 1 in a decent shape, and you just can't do that anymore.
Huh.
Next, you spend hours staring at it. Enjoy it for a while. I will, man.
Right. So are you sleeping down here with it, or is your wife sleeping on the sofa?
No, I mean, one of the stipulations I did work out with her is that we gotta get it safe. So that will be one of the next steps.
Well, but if you get it safe, how will I get the books that I want that you won't know is missing?
As if I have to worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the idiot that asks you, is this book valuable? You're like, no. And they're like, yes, I'm keeping it.
So let's go back to
The list.
my list graphic here real quick. I'm gonna be real like upfront and honest. Um, FF48 is what would be my next big target. So Bronze Age asked, "Do you have a book that you wanted that was much cheaper that you passed up to save for the GSX1?" I was in a position where I had, I knew I had enough money to spend and get it, but I like I said, I bought the Electra before I got the Giant Size
I
X-Men
was going to
one.
say, actually, it was in reverse for you, really, wasn't it? Because you had money saved up to get the GSX1, and then you just kind of gave up on that, and that's when you got your Batgirl book, right?
Yeah, at the time before when I was in that I was targeting Giant Size X-Men one, and I thought at that point I didn't take the stand of I'm never going to get the book, but I'm going to let that book settle down and use this money to go get something that I see as affordable right now, and that's what I did, and picked up several books instead of just the one big
Oh
one.
yeah, he didn't. Yeah, it wasn't a one for one thing. He got several books, but yeah, I just remember the Batgirl book standing out.
Yep, that's not the tie you're looking for. Nice. So yeah, the and one of the books that I got um, before, like during that buying spree back then, was the X-Men '94, which really wasn't that on my radar. Wasn't really that high a priority, but a nice enough deal came along for a nice enough copy, and I had the money, so I decided that was the time to jump on that one.
Right.
So, but with this downturn in the market that we're seeing, I'm all. It's not that I have any kind of buyer's remorse about buying this copy, but if I hold on to the money now that I have and sell another painting later this year, and the market says that there's a better copy of this out there that I could get for what I have in my pocket, I might even do that and just upgrade it
Nice.
right off the bat. But it's kind of watching the market, letting it come to me, and not go out and really chase anything. I think I basically, in my mind, I have until D23 Feige gets up there and says what the plans are for Fantastic Four and gives any inclination of when we'll see a Silver Surfer movie. That's when the Fantastic Four 48 is going to spike. So I basically have until then, I think, to acquire that before we'll probably be comfortable with.
But we have proved you've proved that patience is your superpower.
It is.
So,
Even my wife would tell you that.
to the point where it's almost annoying at times. But
I do just keep looking at it.
I'm like, get it now, get it now. Oh, if you just wait, it'll come down.
With all these books, I mean, I did mention that the times I was like getting a hold of him to plot ideas for how to attain one of these. I'm also in the mindset of I could have lived forever and never owned this book and not been noticeably any more or less happy about it. I'm glad to have it. I'm glad I finally conquered that mountain and I've got it, and it's going to be a prize in my collection probably for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, man, I don't know where I was going with that. I had a point and it slipped out of my mind because I'm old and it's late. Good night, Jeff Schultz. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And should we do a real quick recap?
Sure.
All right. If you joined us late, here's what we went through. We got the Thor 136 that turned out to be a Pence copy with 12 cents written over it. But hey, it's a book I wanted. I want to read it. And I got it for a nice deal. Got the first appearance of Psycho Pirate, just out of interest for that character. Picked up a fairly rough copy, but readable, of the Jack Kirby version of The Origin of Captain America. From the Silver Age, that is. A pretty nice copy of Doom Patrol 108. Got the wedding issue of The Wasp in Yellow Jacket. Picked up the last of the Mimic issues I needed from the original X-Men run in Silver Age. Picked up a beat copy of Fantastic Four 28, which I think one of the goals next year is going to be pick up these team-up books where it's the older keys of the X-Men appearing in other titles.
Okay.
That is after I finish up the John Byrne and the Dave Cockrum early issues. So I got the X-Men 118, X-Men 124. Of the X-Men that I need 97, 98, 99, 100, 102, 103, 104, 105. And then there are a couple I'd like to upgrade, like 108. I picked up a really nice copy, Daredevil 168. Picked up a decent mid-grade copy of Thor 168. And then, of course, the banger of bangers, Giant Size X-Men 1.
Nice. So those look good.
We've got all of that. We gave away a short stack of books. And I thank you all for joining us. I really do appreciate this, the support I've gotten from the community on chasing after this book. I know a lot of people were rooting for me to get it, and
Go Jamie, go Jamie.
I really do appreciate that kind of support. Now, I'll always be the guy that cried about not getting an X-Men, Giant Size X-Men 1, and then getting one. Which, I guess that's not a bad way to end the story. But the story will go on. And, we'll do some more stuff. I think one of the next streams we'll be doing is maybe going over some of the books I do want to get. I've had a bunch pressed, but they've sat around for a long time.
Do they need to get repressed?
They might need to be repressed, but we'll go through books I'd like to get graded, and when I'm starting to grade books, I'm grading them to move them in order to afford something else that I would like to have.
So should I just bring my whole Ironheart collection there?
Yeah. Mark it off. Biggie, I was trying to share an editable version of this before the stream, and I couldn't get it to work where I could put the X's on. So I will be doing that directly after we get off the air.
Oh, maybe that'd be your first Instagram Live.
I'm too old for all this social media. All right. Anyway, see, we've been going for almost an hour, so we're going to clock it in, turn it off right here. Thanks for joining us, guys. Captain Comics, thanks for joining us. Well, we'll be keeping an eye out for a lot longer because we don't do that show anymore as of a couple weeks ago. But we're going to be doing more in prime time and hopefully soon.
Prime time.
All right. So we will sign off. Remember, keep your priorities straight, your faith, family, and then comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.
Whenever there's a crime, who's always there to fight it? Whenever there's a wrong, who's always there to right it? When someone breaks the law, who do people holler for?